So here we have Decompose out of the package. One interesting little bit of did you know information about it was that in the cartoon, Decompose was voiced by Chris Latta. For those who may not know who Chris Latta is, shame on you. But Chris Latta voiced Cobra Commander. He also voiced Starscream. He voiced Darkstorm and Kravex from Visionaries. He was known for a lot of 80s cartoons. Most notably, of course, was Starscream and Cobra Commander. But he did a Starscream-esque voice for Decompose as well, really raspy and creepy kind of thing. The figure itself. Oh, and also I wanted to point out as well that Tendril was the plant creature. Decompose was kind of like I'd say almost like a rock skeleton kind of creature. In fact, if I show you the back of the DVD case here, there is a picture of Decompose right there. I guess he's a fossilized dinosaur of sorts. He still has like a skin kind of thing, I guess, but his head was a skeleton. It's unfortunate, though. I think that Decompose, unlike the cartoon, is the most poorly represented of the Inhumanoids creatures. He doesn't really look a lot like the actual cartoon itself. The head is somewhat similar, and for some reason Hasbro, or was it Hasbro? Yeah, it was Hasbro. Hasbro has decided to give him this hair. He's got like a little strand of hair, which really doesn't make much sense because he didn't have it in the cartoon. The figure also, unfortunately, doesn't stand all that well. I'll put him at the back there. He doesn't stand all that well. Actually, I'll bring him closer to the camera. And the reason why is he has flat feet, or they're somewhat flat. I mean, they're not flat, but the way his legs are positioned, he's got a bow leg going on. And because of that, his legs don't sit completely flat to the ground. So he is the hardest to stand of all the Inhumanoids creatures. He has articulation in the head. Here. His head can rotate. And a very creepy looking mug on him. He has articulation in the hands. And he also has articulation in the legs. That's all you're going to get with him. The Inhumanoids creatures themselves aren't known for really a lot of articulation. Actually, another interesting thing about Inhumanoids, and at least of Decompose, for those who watch the cartoon, you'll know. For the ones who didn't watch the cartoon, I would say you kind of have to be careful showing this cartoon to the kids, especially of the younger audience. I tried showing this to I think at the time he was 7, my 7-year-old nephew, and he got pretty scared watching it. And one of the reasons was because of Decompose. One of the abilities that Decompose had was that he could touch you, and as soon as he touches, like in one episode, he touches one of the female scientists, and as soon as he touches them, they turn into these really, really large zombified creatures, and I mean, it's a scary thing for kids to watch. I mean, it definitely, the 80s cartoons didn't tiptoe around some of the character designs. They didn't make everything fluffy. And, Inhumanoids is not probably for every kid to be watching. It is a bit scary. And, again, it's because of Decompose. He's one of the main reasons. His gimmick is that his rib cage opens up. It doesn't open up very well, and the only reason why is there's little springs on the sides here. What does the rib cage do? Well, you can take your figure here. Or actually, you know what? We always use Herc. I'm going to put Herc aside. I'm going to get my man Augur out here. And the idea with it is that you can open up the rib cage, and it's supposed to imprison the Inhumanoids, or not the Inhumanoids, it's supposed to imprison the Earth core. It's not quite to scale because in the show D.Compose was quite a bit larger, and Earth core would have been, I'd say almost, if we take out my G.I. Joe again, Earth core probably would have been about the size of the G.I. Joe to the rib cage. That's how they would have been imprisoned. So I mean, these figures are a little larger and out of proportion. But that's pretty much, that's D.Compose for you. One unfortunate thing is, and I don't remember the toy being like this in the beginning, was the fact that he is hollow. I mean, all this piece, this whole figure is very hollow and very fragile. He is also the most fragile of all the creatures. But he's definitely a nice addition. Whoop. He's definitely a nice addition. And the leg always falls off too. Just to kind of give you guys an idea of how hollow he is. The leg fits on though, fairly easy. But there you have a retro spot on Inhumanoids D.Compose. And with that, I'll wrap this up. And the last on the list is Metlar. So stay tuned for that, and I will catch you guys later.